Hey guys, my name's Rudy and this is my first ever video for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today we're going to do a flight from London Heathrow to Zurich in Switzerland, and we're doing this on the PS5 Pro, so I don't have a lot of third-party content. I am using the Builds A320 Neo, the V2, and I want to see just haven't played this for a long time. Obviously, PS5 doesn't have a lot of stuff on it, but I've downloaded the latest update, and we'll see how we go. And please don't expect high. What's the right word here? Please don't expect. I haven't done a lot of study, so I'm going to be doing my best, working off my own little checklist that I've got just from watching other people and things like that. So let's set the aircraft up and get it ready for takeoff. First things first, we'll get the batteries, both batteries to on. Let it make that clunk noise. And external power is available. And we'll get that on. Next things next, we'll turn strobes to auto. Nav light to 2. And then we'll turn the APU, get the APU going actually. So APU master, wait a few seconds, and we'll press start, and then we'll come down here, and this will, so basically this is our APU screen, and it'll tell us when, you know, the flap's open, it's ready, and it'll start in its own time. Next thing, we'll turn the cruise supply on. The emergency lights. Oh. So we'll get no smoking to auto. Get the ideas on. I've got it set to instant, so the aircraft will know which way is up straight away. And then we'll come down to our little tablet. I've already set a SimBrief plan on SimBrief on my phone. As I said, I wish, it's quite hard doing this off the PS5. You know, well, SimBrief plan requested, and it's loaded. So we'll go to ground. We'll toggle some of these just for loading some people. Go to the payload section next, and we'll apply the load, and I'll go to instant just to, you know. Payload applied. Next thing's next. So our weight is, let's just say 48. Or sync actually. Sync that. Go 48.0. that'll calculate V speeds, flex temperatures, V1, V2 and rotate, and our trim position 1.5 up. So this will come in here. We'll have to know this stuff when we put it all into our FMC. We'll send that to the FMGS. Okay, that's all we need there. Next we'll set our FMC. Come down to, obviously I don't have any preset camera angles. I'm just using my PS5 controller, so hopefully I can do I'm doing the best I can. And we'll go to the init page straight away. And if you have put in your sim brief plan into your, load one up, and I'll show you just on the laptop in the options, so you can put your sim brief pilot ID and all that, so you can upload your flight plans, and it cuts a lot of work out when you can just say init request, and it'll say we're going from Heathrow to Zurich, but there's still quite a lot you've got to put in yourself. So so the next thing I'm going to do is set up, just tell it how to leave London Heathrow. So the SID, the SID, which stands for Standard Instrument Departure. So we're leaving from runway 27 left. So we'll get 27 left, and we want the Maxi 1G. So scroll. There we go, Maxi 1G. That's the one it wants. We'll insert that. No transition. And then we'll go down to our arrival airport in Zurich. Now, in real life, they actually don't put the arrival in, or the star, which is the standard terminal arrival route, until they're pretty much they're in the air and they're close to their destination, because a lot of things change weather. But for today's video, I'm just literally gonna do it here. And we're coming on runway 14, so ILS 14, and then the BLM 3G. That's the one we want. Again, start, no transition. Okay. So basically, go up, sorry. Yeah, down is up, up is down in this. So basically just gonna check our plan. I'm going to go to plan mode, and we're going to have a look. We're going to scroll through this. Sometimes it's hard to. Okay, so we got our standard instrument departure, so max it. Looking good to there so far. Mid, Ogna, is it Benbow? Hawk, Zamab, Vol, what's that? Pogsy, Delta, Manag. pivot, VLM. Gibbold. Okay, now what you're really looking for here, is there any discontinuities in your flight plan? Because if there is, it's going to cause you major trouble, especially on terminal arrival routes and stuff like that, where the flight computer is going to get very confused about where it's going to go. So best thing to do is when you have your computer all set, you go to plan mode, you scroll through your flight plan and check, and we didn't seem to have any discontinuities, not only up there, but I didn't see any here either. So that's great. I love when it works. It just works straight away. And as I said, guys, this is PS5 Pro I'm running, and I know a lot of people have had issues. I personally haven't had any issues, even before I downloaded this latest beta. The PS5 Pro has run the sim flawlessly for me, so I'm not really sure why there's so many variances, but I'm sure they'll get on top of it. And I'm really hoping, because my favourite aircraft is the Airbus A350, and I can't wait till that comes out. I'll be doing a lot of stuff on that, some long flights and things like that. Now guys, my checklist sort of ends there. So don't take this as like a tutorial, I would say. It's just more of a, this can get you from the gate to the runway. We'll turn our flight directors on both sides, and we'll set our main panel here. Take that off plan and just go straight to arc. And what does it want? Wants cruising altitude of 29,000. And we'll set that to 29,000. Okay. So flight directors both on. Alright. What I will do, head down here and plug in some of our performance stuff. So it doesn't you have to actually plug this in manually. So just go off these 148, 148 and 150. Okay, once our flaps and our trim setting, which is the THS setting, and our flaps, so that we're on flaps 1 with 1.5 up on the trim. So the way you plug this in is 1/1.5 up. So it's 1 up 1.5. Flex to temperature is 58 degrees centigrade. You don't need to put the centigrade, you just need to put 58. And that's our takeoff. Next phase, the climb is in manage mode. Cost index of 23. Be managed at 250 below 10,000. Obviously, I don't know. No, sorry. I don't know what the transition altitude is for Europe. I think it might be 6,000 feet. I'll just have to check that though, obviously. Cruise will be all managed. Descent managed. And approach. And we'll fill this in when we get closer to Zurich. Already has our ILS 14, but we'll fill in QNH, the air temperature, the wind, and the radio. The radio feet. Yeah. Alright. Performance, flight plan, performance, okay. Let me just check. Oh, yep, and also init, and then we're going to put our zero fuel weight and center of gravity in, and our block fuel, which was already from our sim brief plan. Costing at 23. Okay. I think it's all looking good. I don't think I've missed anything. Radio, I'm pretty sure we'll look at this in flight. So alright. That's the FMC pretty well done. And we'll click that to put in. So when these, so you got speed, heading, and altitude. When this dot is highlighted beside them both, and you can't see numbers here and here, it means it's in manage mode, which means the autopilot, and yeah, the autopilot will basically fly that for us, and it knows what's going on, and we can show you in flight a bit more about that as well. But if you just want to make sure the dots are highlighted, it means it's in manage mode. When they're not, it means you're in control of speed, heading, altitude. Is the simple way to put it right now. Okay. Alright. Alright, so what we'll do, I think we'll get pushed back and start our engines and get so this will update, and that's for our approach, our META for Zurich. So basically that's going to tell us some handy wind information and temperatures for our approach to put in our flight management computer. Alright, get rid of this thing. Not very sunny here in England. I've never been to England, but every time I fly on flight sim, it's never sunny. We need ground. We close the doors. That thing has popped up again. Why? Toggle the GPU. Now, our park brake is on, and we'll get pushed back. Take our park brake off when he hooks up, so he can push us back. and we'll make sure APU bleeds on, which basically means compressed air from the auxiliary power unit, which is going at the moment, forces into the main engines to actually spin them. All we got to do is turn the ignition on and introduce fuel, and engine number 2 should be on its way to firing up. Now we're going down that way. Oh, wrong way. No, right. So our exhaust gas temperature is coming up, and this will say when it's available. When you know the engine's fully started, then we'll do the other one. And we'll get old mate to just leave us here. Stop. Park brake on. We're watching this. Exhaust gas temperature's really risen. Avail. So that's up and running. Engine number 1. Master caution. You know what I've done. Wasn't following checklists. That's what happens. I've got to turn the fuel pumps on. All the fuel pumps on. Oh my, how did I forget that? Okay, while we're here, just gonna put beacon on, wing light on, nose to taxi, seatbelts to on, snow smoking's on auto, and when we get taxiing we'll put the landing lights on just before takeoff. Okay, both engines up and running. Turn ignition back to normal. And a good thing about the Airbuses, or the Airbus A320 anyway, you can turn the APU off now. APU bleed off. The packs, it's automatic. As soon as the engine start, the packs turn on. Yeah. Don't know if we need engine ice, anti-ice yet. Doesn't say. If it's really cold, you know, really cold day, which it's not that cold, probably just turn them on to be safe. So we're good up here for now. Just the landing lights will go on. And I want to, so flaps to 1. Gonna arm those ground spoilers. And we're going to do a takeoff config, and it looks like, look at that, auto brake to max, cabin check, takeoff config test, takeoff config normal, that's what we want, that's what we want. When that says normal, you know we're good. Alright, flaps are set. Now I haven't flown out of Heathrow for a long while, so bear with me. I'll release the parking brake. The A320 has a small amount of positive thrust, so Now, I don't have all the fancy stuff as the other flight simmers. I can't wait for a lot of the third-party stuff to come with the PS5. And just before takeoff, I'll put my TCAS on. I'll head down this way. I had a look on the world map, just exactly where you go to get to 27 left. I want to go down here. Yeah. Now I do have a lot of the settings on medium or high. I probably should turn them off to get rid of a lot of these just pointless aircraft are everywhere, but I don't mind the look of them. Reduce that throttle a bit, not a bit fast. Feels like it anyway. And I'm just using a PS5 controller, guys, and a mouse that's plugged in to my PlayStation. Very, very amateur setup, but I'm doing my best. Okay, we're going to stop here. Put the handbrake on, park brake on. We're going to just put those engines to idle. And what I want is some landing lines. I want to know what transition altitude it is as well. So, departure airport, I'll get some charts up. Bear with me, guys, I'm just getting a transition. .6,000 feet. Okay. So landing lights are on. We'll put the nose light to take off. Strobes on. Flaps are set. Ground floor is set. Auto brake to max. Now, is there anything else? Get our TCAS. So even though I'm not using ATC, just because we'll go to auto. On. Go to TARA. Okay. Alright, park brake off. Apply a little bit of throttle. This is very bad of me, isn't it? I'm not even... This is why you follow a procedure. So, QNH, just update for for Heathrow, QNH of 1012. And above 6,000, we'll just go to standard 1012. Okay, there we go. Basically, that's just so we can get an accurate measurement off the ground below a certain altitude when other planes are around as well. So basically all the other planes are meant to be below 6,000 on 1012 and then above that transition of 6,000 on standard air pressure, so they all know what altitudes everyone is at. Basically that's how that it's meant to work. Now I know that's a very, very simple, let's say, description. First flight sim video, right? Just give me a break. Give me a break. There we go, 27 left. Look at those beautiful dark clouds of Heathrow. And we're going to go straight to Toga, which stands for take off or go around in the Airbus. It's going to hold a bit of pressure to 80 knots, a bit of front pressure. Try and keep it on that centre line. Okay. Rotate. Gear up. Straight to autopilot. Because that was awful. I forgot what dual stick I was using then, and that was terrible. I'm really sorry, guys. Just going to go throttle climb. So basically that means put the throttle, if it's going to let me, yeah, all the way to the climb detent, and we can see throttle climb. Sport. I can, so gears up, flaps 1 still, and I'll put that flaps up, and it'll climb to 250 knots. We're at 5,300 feet, nearly at our transition altitude of 6, which I'll change to standard barometric pressure. Okay, and below 10,000 is the speed limit of 250 knots as well. That into standard. And oh no. Well, I don't know what happened there. I turned it autopilot off. I've got to get some anti-ice going. And on the window. Probably should turn the probe heats on before anything else. Because I can't see a thing. What is happening out there? It's just solid. As before. Okay, so we're on autopilot, and yeah, what happened with the takeoff? I was using the right analog stick instead of the left. Why? My brain's a bit everywhere, just trying to think of everything. And seatbelt's still on. Yes, they'll be on for a little while. And flight level is 6,000 here, so it'll just do its thing. It's just following the standard instrument departure, and there we go. Blue sky. I'll turn the anti-ice off. I'll leave those the heat, the window and probe heat on though. I don't know how. I have to redo my checklist. Okay. And what have we got down here? Cruise engine. Might go to Hydraulics. We'll leave it on fuel. And now and so it's going to hold 250 knots until we get above 10,000. So it's got to this point here and it wants to start climbing. So it was holding 6,000 for quite some time, and the next one is just about 10,000 feet. Okay, and we're going to let it do its thing. Landing lights are still on because we're not above 10,000 feet. As soon as we're above 10,000, I'll turn them off, which will be very shortly. Okay. Turn that one off. These can come off. That can come off. Seatbelts are on auto. No smoking. No smoking was off. Okay, it was on auto. Everything else looks good up there. Don't know what the speed limit is. See? Okay. I was just following the flight plan, but anyway. I find this aircraft, for a free aircraft that came with it, I find it actually really, really good. I'd wish there was some more liveries, maybe like a Qantas livery, as I'm from Australia. A Qantas livery, because we have A321s here. I know this is not an A321, but Qantas Link A320 would look awesome. But yeah, I can only wish. But we have what we have anyway on PS5, and I'm sure it'll in the coming year or so get a lot of third-party stuff. I'm hoping in the short term, but I'm not going to hold my breath. I think that, you know, it's not. I think it's performing very well. Might put this out to 80 miles, nautical miles. We'll turn our constraints on. I do like the constraints on. Look, actually, go back to 40. So basically we're at going to the next waypoint of Bognor. Flight level should be 29,000 by then, which we're at nearly 19,000. Speed slowly going up, flight level climbing at 3,200 feet a minute. Yeah, all looks good. So let's do some cruising. And I'll shut up for a minute. went and got a Coke. So we're at flight level 290, which is 29,000 feet. As I said, we're going from London Heathrow, which we've taken off from, over to Zurich in Switzerland. I personally have not done this flight on Flight Sim. Since we're in cruise, I'll go and switch. They're on auto. That's not auto, that's fine. Okay. I can just sit down. Yeah, okay. That's fine. This is probably because I haven't set my approach. So we're going to go and set the approach data while we're here. I know it's probably a bit early. Real pilots would not do this until they're a bit closer. So we'll go to performance. Next phase. So destination, approach. So we're going to find the QNH. I'm actually just going to get my charts up here. And a good old telephone. So we'll go arrival airport. We'll go approach. We'll go weather actually first. Okay. So 1017 is the QNH. Temperature 13 degrees Celsius. The wind, what do we got? 250 degrees at 7 knots. So 250/7 should do it. Okay. We'll set a radio minimums. Where am I going to get that from? Charts, approach, ILS 14. $1,950 feet for radio. Oh, okay. We'll do a barrow. $16.02. Okay, that's the approach data in. Transition altitude, I don't know, about 5,000, or is it? I'm pretty, let me have a look here. $7,000, so that's wrong. Transition altitude. Radio nav. And we're going to come into the glide so at 4,000 feet. Just bear with me just a sec. There's something going on here. Doesn't like that. Okay. Right. Let's go down. Okay, that's set. Adjust that out a bit. A little bit more. And we've got a fair way to go. Top of descent marker will be here. So we've got a fair way. So basically we're just going to be cruising, and I find this simulator absolutely amazing. Even on console, incredible. Couldn't imagine this working on PlayStation. It's a dream come true for me, really. Wanted to be a pilot my whole life. Just things didn't work out. This is the closest I can get to it, so. So we're just cruising, and 29,000. So now to come into Zurich, we have to be at 4,000 feet to collect the ILS beam. So basically, on our descent, I'll be setting this to 4,000, pushing it in, and it'll, once it gets to that marker, to this marker here, it'll start descending. That's not for a little while. Right, look at some showcase. Camera angles. Absolutely gorgeous. And that's going to be the first hour of the video. Thanks so much for watching, and there will be a continuation of this video in another clip.